Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, Ari.
Welcome back, Adam. It's been too long.
We're recording midweek
For the first time ever.
for the first time
Unless
since
it was like
probably
a holiday.
you moved.
Yeah, unless it was a holiday and we both had the day off. But
yeah. So welcome back.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, great. Our kitchen did end up being renovated.
Oh, good.
Obviously it's not finished yet. We just did the I keep wanting to say cupboards, and it is not the cupboards.
Cabinets?
The countertops.
Oh, countertops.
The countertops. Michael's actually tidying up because there was some cutting that Brad had to do inside the house, so there was a little bit of the dust that just comes off with that, in the drawers and stuff like that. So Michael's doing that right now. He was like, "Can you just go through how everyone has that one drawer that's just the junk drawer that you just throw everything in that you don't know where else to put it." So we're finally sorting through that, and we had to wash our silverware and stuff because there was just a thin layer of the little whatever that dust is that gets on stuff. From cutting whatever the material, not actual not a plank of wood, but that type of wood that they use to make butcher block countertop,
sure.
Yeah, so Michael's doing that right now. But yeah, we have brand new countertops. I should send you a photo. We have brand new countertops, farmhouse sink that's gorgeous, and then a beautiful black tap from IKEA as well that has the handles are little gears kind of.
Oh.
I don't know what it reminds me of, an old fashioned the pump when they used to have those cool little handles that are not an octagon, but it's not a circle. It's let me see if I can find a old fashioned pump. I'm trying to see if I can. Oh no, it's just bringing up the cast iron.
Oh, like a
water
true,
pump. That's all I can
water
find.
pump.
But I'll send you a photo, and you'll know what I mean after you see it. But it's gorgeous. We have to still do the tiling and stuff on the wall, the backsplash. And we have to switch out the cabinet doors. The backsplash, I think we're just gonna do a marbly white, maybe a warm white or something. We think what we're gonna do is paint the bottom cupboards blue, kind of a robin's egg blue color, or maybe a in between that and a periwinkle kind of, and then leave the top cabinets white and see if we like that. But we need to put the paint color on the old cabinet doors first, just to make sure we like it, because obviously you have to kind of make sure you like the color before you put it around the entire room.
Right.
Anyway, that's enough riffing.
That's enough riffing. Ari, this week,
very long chapter.
Well, Ari, this week we read chapter 6 called "The Ghoul in Pajamas." Pajamas. What happens in the chapter?
In this chapter, Harry, Ron, and Hermione try to plan, while Mrs. Weasley tries to prevent them from planning. And then Fleur's parents arrive.
Yeah, Fleur's family.
I'm is that Fleur's family? Yeah, her sister as well. I guess we could say while they're trying to plan, while she's trying to get in the way of them planning, they are able to at least get some time. They finally get an opportunity to meet, but are interrupted again by her.
It feels like a chapter that's leading to the next chapter.
Yeah. I was is that not my best summary of a chapter, because it's how do you summarize it? They can't talk. They want to pick a little, talk a little, and they don't get to. The chapter opens with Harry expecting to see Mad Eye just walking through the door. Which is by the way, this is the thing that happens when you're experiencing grief, because your brain is so used to the presence of whoever this
The
person
normalcy.
is. Yeah, yeah. You literally, there's like neural pathways that form in your brain because they're so used to this person being a part of your life. So that's a real sensation that happens in people's minds, that it like
Yeah, I don't buy it.
feels like it doesn't make sense.
I don't buy it for Harry.
that he's missing him.
Why would he? I get that he misses him, but I do not envision that he would be like, I'm so used to Mad Eye Moody coming to the burrow. That's not ever
Yeah.
happened to you. That's never happened before in your life.
Yeah, he doesn't live at the Burrow one, but also that wasn't like a common occurrence for Moody to
Right.
be like
If it was like, if they were
popping
still
over
at
to the
number
Burrow.
12, Grimald Place, then I'd be like, sure, you got used to that.
Obviously, he is very much associated him with the Order. So like the things going on with the Order and him being like, oh wow, he's never gonna walk through the door. Sure. Harry basically wants to leave before the wedding to start hunting Horcruxes. And Ron's like, no, we got to stay until after the wedding. Remember, it's just one more day. So, like, there's no reason for us to leave before then. And also, Fleur and Mrs. Weasley would kill us. We learned that Molly has already tried to get out of both Ron and Hermione what the plan is, because they have told them as in the Weasley, like the Molly and Arthur. They've told Molly and Arthur that they're not going to go back to Hogwarts. So she knows that, but obviously they're not telling her what they're going to go off and do, because as we know, Dumbledore said, only tell Ron and Hermione, keep it to the three of you.
And the plan, just to reiterate, the plan is for the Golden Trio to join the circus. That's what they're going to do. They're skipping senior year so they can join.
That's all it is. They're like, this Voldemort stuff is too heavy, y'all.
It's too heavy.
Let's go off and join the circus. Very what's the season, the American Horror Story Freak Show season? What
Freak
was that?
Show.
Like 6 or something?
4, I believe.
Oh, 4? Okay, well, I was really off. 4, they're like, we're gonna go.
Because 3 is Coven. I think 4 is Freak Show.
Oh, okay.
Because 6 is the Roanoke.
Oh, Roanoke was that one was a bit too intense for me. I was
that was crazy. Roanoke was crazy.
So then there's this moment where Molly ends up like making a very silly excuse to pull Harry in somewhere private. I think it's like, it might be like the laundry room or something, somewhere like off to the side. I can't remember exactly the location.
It's like she wants to ask if this random sock
about the sock. Yeah. She's like, oh yes, I found this sock and I wanted to see if it was yours. And it's like not a sock Harry would have at all, first off. We find out it's like a Puddle Near United sock. And he's like, I don't support this team, Molly. So yeah, she like plays the concerned parent card. That she's like, well, I think Arthur and I have a right to know, after all, Ron is our son. And it's so funny because obviously I'm not a parent, but like now that I like am an adult and like realize like obviously like how the concern for like a small little being, especially a human child, would make you like lose your mind not knowing where they were, what they was doing. Now I'm like, Harry, you have no idea that like you really are torturing this woman. Like
totally
you,
but also
you
like,
and Ron and Hermione.
He's still 16 when she's asked. Like it's not even, they're not even like real world adults yet.
I know.
They're just wizarding adults.
And this is the thing about like kids. This is the thing about kids books or novels or whatever. It's always like they're 17 or just turned 18 or whatever it is, and it's like they're saving the world,
the rite of passage.
Yes. And it's so funny now because like obviously when we were that age, like I was like, yeah, but now being about to turn 33 this year, I'm like, these are babies. They are BBs. It's crazy. But I do think there is something about when you're that age that you do have such a fearlessness that unfortunately for a lot of us as we get older, that fearlessness, we have to fight so hard to either keep it or find our way back to it. Because there is something about being that age that like for better or worse, you're just kind of like, whatever, the trauma hasn't gotten to you yet. You're like,
well, there's also like you have no responsibility.
Yes,
like that's why everybody in their 20s goes crazy because like you may have a job, but it's like your entry level, so it's not like you don't have a family, blah blah blah.
Oh my gosh, that is so real too. Like, because I remember I used to sometimes think like, how did I have so much energy? And it was like, oh, it's just because I didn't have like the weight of all the shit on my shoulders every morning.
I sometimes think about how I worked when I first moved to Orlando. I worked 7 days a week. I worked 4 days at one job and 3 days at the other.
Yeah.
For like a year.
Yeah. I don't know how I had at one point, I had 3 jobs in LA. I was working for a fashion company. I was working at Apple. And then I also was teaching voice lessons. And then I think I had something else. And I was doing Beachbody. So technically
Ari,
4.
Don't be so modest. You were modeling for The Row. For Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen's The Row line. Don't be so modest. The Row.
Yeah, so she's pulling the concerned parent card. He looks right into her eyes and then is like, oh gosh, her eyes literally look exactly like Ginny's, which makes it harder for him to say what he's about to say to her. He's like, Dumbledore only wanted me to know, and he said it was okay if I told Ron and Hermione, but nobody just else. Us. Mm-hmm. Like, but that's it. He didn't want anyone else to know. And then Molly's like, Harry, you must have misunderstood. Okay. I mean, we have the entire Order of the Phoenix here. It's just ridiculous that he would expect something like this of you. Like, you know, you're just a kid. Come on. This is just silly. And he's like, no, I didn't misunderstand him. It has to be me. I know what's going on here. Like, I have a full understanding of what I need to do. So Harry, she ends up, this is the moment where he's like, and that sock isn't mine, by the way. That I have nothing to do with that the print that's on that sock. So Harry is like hoping that he can find a time to discuss hunting the Horcruxes with Ron and Hermione. But Mrs. Weasley just keeps finding ways to, one, keep them busy with a lot of stuff. Oh, that's what I forgot to mention. At the end of the conversation, when he's like, that isn't my sock, she's like, oh, yeah, of course not. But then she's like, well, you won't mind helping out for the wedding, will you? And he's like, oh, yeah, of course. Happy to help out. And she's like, great. And then they literally cannot get any time alone after that. She's like asking them to do stuff constantly, but like separately. So they can't do the same job together. And there's this one moment where I think it's him and Ginny are alone. And Ginny's like, yeah, I think she's doing that because then she's hoping it's going to delay y'all leaving.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, so she thinks like while we're stuck here, then someone's just going to like magically kill Voldemort then, huh? And then like Ginny kind of like freezes because she's like, oh my God, so that is what you're going to do, huh? And he's like,
I don't understand.
I was joking.
Isn't it very obvious that would be, I guess I've read the book series, right? I know what's going on with these characters.
Yeah.
But from an outside perspective, I'm like, they have to defeat that's what this is all heading. Voldemort has to be defeated.
Yeah. I mean, I think obviously, yes, it's hard for us to say because we don't have an outsider's point of view because we just have from the very beginning have known there's this deep connection between Harry and Voldemort. I don't know. I think maybe you just have to kind of go with the fact of like, obviously he is a 16, about to turn 17, kid, year-old kid. And so everyone's just kind of assuming like, no, it's not for him to try and take him down. Like, the Order will figure it out or whatever.
I mean, his task from Voldemort is obviously way more complicated than just like get rid of Voldemort. Like
from Dumbledore.
From Dumbledore is like way more complicated than just like, hey, go kill this guy.
Yeah. Yes.
And like they can't say that info.
Yeah.
But I do wonder like, why are we still keeping the prophecy a secret? Because he could be like, here's the prophecy.
Yeah. I know. I mean, that's like basically all but confirmed. But that's actually a good point, Adam, because there is that general like rumor that like it has to be Harry. So
it's already kind of out there in the ether.
Yeah. So Harry tries to play this off that he made this joke to Ginny, and Ginny's like, I know that you were serious. Like he's like, oh, I was joking, haha, haha, hee hee. funny things like
LOL, JK.
Yeah, she's like, I know you were serious. Like, I know you slipped up in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So then he realizes in this moment, I think maybe just because she's like obviously like looking at him with like concern in her eyes, he's like, oh my God, we literally have not been alone together since that day, like back at Hogwarts. And then right at that moment, Arthur and other members of the Order come in through the back door and they both jump. Harry and Ginny jump. Yep. So we learned that from the Order members and Arthur that Mad Eye had set up some curses. Wait, where is it? Yes, okay. Mad Eye had set up some curses against Snape at Grimmauld Place, hoping that it would like dissuade him. Because there's something about a tongue tie.
God, girl, this whole thing
I knew.
Crazy. So
this was wild.
Dumbledore was the secret keeper of number 12 Grimmauld Place. Yeah. But because he died, now everyone else has become the secret keeper.
Tell me how that works. You can't just defer to one person. You can't just defer
like the
to
curse
like
would just like be done now. Like it would just
or like,
be
you just redo it.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. I don't know why that was what she landed on. I was like, you literally should have just defaulted.
Grimmauld Place, yeah.
It was just crazy. I mean, my mind went to there should have just been someone else that it passed to.
Yeah, even if it was
Lily,
like
when Lily dies, Harry's protected.
It could have been like a setup like it's kind of mirroring it passed to Snape, so that's why they can't use it anymore. He trusted Snape, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, they could do that. Yeah, they could play it that way. Because I was like, we have this thing obviously with Lily where Lily literally dies and then like there's protection that passes to Petunia.
Yeah.
Do they have to be related? Fine, Aberforth. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, you've literally established that like this is something that exists in like that type of I don't know, magical enchantment or whatever it is. So I was like, why not for the Secret Keeper spell? So yeah, so I thought that was a little bit strange, but yeah, it's like they're hoping that he'll like be tongue tied and then like whatever other enchantments, which we're going to find out later in this book, whatever else they've done, will just discourage him from like going back there. They were not able to find Moody's body, unfortunately, which they literally said pretty much the same thing we said. They were like, it was dark. They didn't know where his body fell, but it was a little bit weird that they didn't find anything. So there's also
very suspicious.
Yeah. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. I love them. Two of the best characters created for a comedic TV series.
John Ralphio and Mona Lisa?
Mona Lisa!
Yeah.
Yes!
Oh my God.
John Ralphio, great. Mona Lisa, even better.
Yeah.
So apparently, not only was his body not found, but the Ministry has covered up the entire situation. The entire battle in the sky with the 7 Potters, and there's not a peep about it.
Right, because it would have been flagged because Harry did magic and he still has
Harry's
the
like,
trace.
Harry's like, oh yeah, they're not trying to like arrest me for all my underage magic that I did up in the sky.
Can Harry do magic at the Burrow?
Great question, Adam. This is the bit we'll never know.
I don't understand how it specifically
because Molly
works.
And Arthur live there, because there are 2 adult wizards that are registered there, then it's fine.
Because is it like it knows that his... No, it doesn't know that it's... Because as we figured out, it's not about his wand specifically.
Yeah, the reasoning is up because they knew that he was there. He was the only wizard like in that neighborhood or in that house, whatever it was.
Yeah. Wow. Fuck Mrs. Fig.
Yeah. Fuck that squib.
Yeah.
They have, however, announced, or I shouldn't say announced, it is mentioned in the Daily Prophet that the Muggle Studies professor has retired or resigned. And Arthur is like, I don't believe that for a second.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, Arthur's like, that's definitely not what happened. And then there's just a brief exchange where Fleur mentions like how they're gonna disguise Harry for the wedding, because they're like, obviously you can't be you, so we have to figure out like who you're gonna be. Then there's this really funny moment, like, which I thought it was funny that they included this because it's such like a teenage boy thing, but I think she does it for like a bit, obviously, but like Ron is, maybe it's just how he read it in the audiobook. Ron is so upset that he has to clean his room for this wedding.
Oh yeah.
He was like irate. And she's like, well, but we're having everyone here. And he's like, yeah, but they're not getting married in my bedroom, which I was like, I mean, fair. And he's also like the highest up. So like people aren't like walking up to tour his bedroom. Right. I think, but maybe it is really messy. And she's like, just like get it together. But it's funny because he was like, Harry and I like it how it is. And I wish like Harry would have been like, actually, Ron.
Actually, you're gross. My side of the room is like, very neat.
Yeah, I was like, you're very confident to be speaking for Harry like that, Ron. Like, I don't know how he feels about your messy room.
No, we know Harry's just as messy because we heard about that fucking trunk and the shattered mirror.
You are correct, Adam. Yeah,
nasty.
He's living.
He had those cauldron cakes for months. He had those poisoned cauldron cakes for months. Nasty. Yeah. Fucking gross. Ants all over my bed. Gross.
Yeah. Yeah, Hedwig probably was picking the ants up off the nasty ass food. So Harry offers to help Ron. He's like, I can help you clean up. But then Molly's like, oh no, I need you to do this. And Hermione, I need you to do this other thing. Actually, you need to do replace the sheets in the bedroom that they're going to be staying in. The Fleur's parents,
which is just her bedroom.
Her bedroom. We learn. Yeah. And so then they're all separated again. So we find out Harry's going to help, I think, like feed the chickens with Arthur. Was that right? Something like that. He's helping Arthur with something. So we find out that Arthur is holding on to the motorcycle in his little chicken coop. He's got it hidden away.
The bits and bobs
so Molly
that are left.
Doesn't know.
Right.
Yeah, with like what's left over from it and stuff. He's like, yeah, Ted Tonks sent me over, what was left of it. I'm going to try and like get it back together and kind of bless you, kind of play around with it a little bit. And then he's like, yeah, I'm going to do it, when Molly's out. I mean, when I have time, Yeah. So he like keeps like slipping up as he's hiding this from Molly, but he's trying to act like it's just when he has a little bit of free time.
It's not about Molly.
It's not about Molly. Yeah. So Harry helps him, but then they finish relatively early. So he goes up to Ron's room. As he comes up, Ron's doing the thing where he's like, I'm doing, and then he sees it's Harry and he's like, oh, it's you. And he like flops back down on the bed.
Did this all the time as a kid. Yeah. But I did it. I'll be very, very vulnerable and very honest. I did not bathe regularly until I was like in high school because I was like gross.
Well, no, I don't think any teenager really does. You're not taking a shower every day.
I can't speak for all teenagers, but I can speak to my experiences that I was gross. So but mom would be like, go take a shower. And I would go in, turn the shower on, and then read a book in the bathroom.
Sit.
Mm-hmm. And then I'd hear her come up, and so I'd be like, I'm in the shower, and like then I'd jump in.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. I can't explain it. Now I can't not be showered. Like I find it very gross.
Yeah, I can I can smell myself if I haven't showered. Like sometimes even in just like 2 days, I'll be like, oh my God. Like the second day in the morning, I'll be like.
I like didn't really start hitting puberty until like 8th grade. Like I feel like halfway through 8th grade is when it started being like, oh yeah, you smell.
Yeah.
Other than just like, weird. I think generally children have like kind of a sweaty smell when they've been playing or whatever.
Yeah, things like
but
that.
It's very different from like the BO smell.
Yeah, of a teenager.
Yeah. Of a teen boy.
Yeah, teen boy specifically, you guys do unfortunately get worse BO. Your BO is more intense than ours. I remember like we would have gym class and we would be in our gym clothes and then like I would never shower after that.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, no one really did unless we had like swimming.
Mm-hmm.
We would just change back into our regular school clothes while we were like sweaty from running laps.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Terrible. I don't know how we did that. Anyway, back to the burrow with the Weasleys. Ron lays back down on the bed. He's not cleaning his room. Hermione's also in the room. So the moment has arrived. They are all together for the first time in we don't know how many days.
But they were not. I want to be clear that he didn't walk in on them like making out or anything.
No,
she was
they were
like
just
sitting on the floor looking through books, and
Yep.
Ron's just on the bed.
Yeah. They were like, they maybe like debated it. There was like some tension, but they were like, no, we can't.
No, we can't.
We have to save the world first. So Ron has this theory that Mad Eye did not die. He's like, I actually think that he survived. And then Hermione makes a point. She's like, even if he survived like the spell, he still would have fallen like out of the sky.
Yeah.
And hit the ground. So wizards still, I think, would die.
Yeah.
If they fell out of the sky. They're not that magical. So they're going back and forth a bit, and then like Harry throws it out there that he's like, yeah, maybe they transformed him into a bone, just like I almost said Freddie Prinze Jr.
Barty Crouch Jr.
Just like Barty Crouch Jr. did. And then Hermione's like, don't stop, that's horrible. And just like breaks down crying. And then Harry tries to apologize, but he kind of cuts himself off because Ron like jumps up and goes to comfort Hermione very valiantly. And then he has like this little handkerchief that's a little dirty from when he was cleaning stuff. So then he like, is it like he scourgifies? Or whatever.
It's not Scourgify, but it's it's a spell that like takes the grease off of it.
Yes. He like gets the grease off of it so it's all clean and then gives it to Hermione. And Harry's just like, What's happening?
Yeah.
Hey,
did I miss something?
Here? And then Hermione's like, oh, thank you, Ron. And he like has his arm around her. He's being very sweet. And then he's like, I can't remember. I should have written this bit down because it was actually really sweet. I think, was it Dumbledore that he quoted?
So first of all, the spell was Terrego.
Yeah, but like what the heck? We've literally never heard that.
Turgio. Sorry.
Scourgified Turgio.
And then it's what Mad Eye would say.
That's what it is. Yeah. Well, what would Mad Eye say? Thank you. Yeah. He's like, what would he say? What would he say to us if this was going on? What was a constant vigilance? Does he make a constant vigilance show? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then she's like, oh yeah, that's right. Haha. And she like kind of, the way he says it, the delivery that he has like kind of cheers her up a little bit. She's comforted by it.
I think if I was writing this book series, I would have just included something where it was like, Harry felt conflicted when Mad Eye Moody died because, of course, he didn't really know him because the year he spent with him was not actually him.
Moody.
That's never brought up.
No.
And he only really interacts with him a handful of times.
Yes.
In 5 and 6.
Yeah.
So I still think you'd obviously be very sad about it. And they do have that scene where Mad Eye Moody shows him the photograph.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
In 6, I think. I don't remember. But
in the book. Yeah. But in the movie it was serious. So they don't even have that happen with Moody in the films. So once Hermione is like a little bit more cheered up, Harry's like, look, I know you guys said you wanted to come with me, but I actually don't think that that's a very good idea. And Hermione's like, oh yeah, here he goes. And then she like, just like kind of ignores him and is like, I don't know if I should take this or not, actually. I think maybe I just need to take it because it wouldn't feel right if I didn't have it with me. And she's talking about Hogwarts of history. She's got to keep that on her person at all time.
And it's gonna, you know what? It's gonna come in handy.
It will. It will come in handy.
The book she references, every single book actually ends up helping out in the end.
So he kind of tries to go back and forth with them a little bit, but Ron literally is just like, shut up. We're coming with you.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. Ron and Hermione reveal the lengths they've gone to prepare for this Horcrux hunting quest they're about to embark on. Hermione has been working for days, like enchanting this. Is this where we get the reveal? No, not yet. She's been getting things ready for days to ensure that they can leave at any moment.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about the bag because the bag is so cool, but it's not yet.
She hasn't revealed it yet.
She hasn't revealed
because they even talk about how they're like, oh, we're going to bring a mobile library with us. And I was like, just you wait, boys.
Just you wait, Henry Higgins. Just you wait. Just you wait, Harry Potter. Just you wait. Hermione has enchanted her muggle parents into changing their names, forgetting that they have a daughter, and they've like moved to Australia. Because she like enchanted them, so that was their like lifelong dream, and now they're pursuing that lifelong dream and have moved.
So it's not an Imperius curse.
What is it?
This is crazy. This has to be really advanced magic.
Memory in the movie
it's just like a memory wipe, basically.
Yeah,
that's what it like alludes to.
She says obliviate.
Oh, does she say it
in the movie? Yeah. So I don't. Oh wait. You know what? I was confident, but now I'm questioning myself. I think she does.
She says Expelliarmus because Harry taught her so well.
Yeah, so they've moved to Australia. She gets a little emotional while talking about this. So then Ron puts his arm around her again and then like looks at Harry. Like what I imagined was him being like,
look how much she's gone through for Harry.
He's like, yeah, how can you be so insensitive, Harry? And again, Harry has this moment where he's like, how is Ron like knowing to give me this look right now? What is happening?
Can I say something that's crazy to me?
Yeah.
Harry's the leader of this trio. And he has nary a plan. His plan is just go to Godric's Hollow. That's it.
I know.
That's all
and we know how
ready.
That would have gone.
If he went by himself, he'd be dead in 2 days. Like it would be so over for this diva.
This diva. And then Harry's like, I'm sorry once again, because he feels bad that she's upset again. And then she's like, we are taking this seriously. We realize like that this is a very big deal. This is, lives are at stake here. We know that. So then she's like, Ron, you show him what you've done. And so Ron's like, oh no, he's just eaten. Can't show him that. And she's like, no, show him. It's really good. So
it's really gross.
Yeah, it's gross. So there's something called spattergroit that apparently you can contract.
I don't want to know.
In the wizarding world.
It sounds like an STI. I'll be honest.
So Ron has basically enchanted their house ghoul to look like he has spattergroit and look like Ron. So he has like red hair now on top of his head. And he's wearing Ron's pajamas. And so basically Ron tells Harry that they talked to the ghoul about this. Sure. I love that you can just go and have a chat with the ghoul. I was like, news to me.
I didn't
just go up.
I didn't know they would be able to speak or not. I don't think he speaks, but understand. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, so him, Ron, Fred, George, and then like Arthur kind of helped a little bit, are all in on this. So they basically like talked to the ghoul, told him the plan. They're like, you're going to come down instead of staying up here. You're going to come down and stay in Ron's room. And it was clear that he understood enough, Ron said, because he like somehow communicated with them probably just by nodding and stuff that he understood well enough, like what the plan was. And then they were like, it would just be too much work to hide, obviously, all of the Weasleys. Like, because there's so many of them. So he was like, this is just a better approach.
The both of them not going to Hogwarts is going to tip off those in power that they're all together.
Yes, obviously.
Yeah.
I also just think, like, even if Ron is in the house, I think that like we just have to kind of be like, okay, fine. But as soon as the ministry falls, I feel like the Weasleys would have to go into hiding, correct?
100%.
I mean, I guess they could put enchantments on their home, so that way, like like how it's enchanted right now, so no one can actually get to the house. But when Arthur's out, can't they just like kidnap him?
Right.
Like, because the ministry's already overtaken. So I'm like, at some point, you are all going to have to go into hiding because you're so blatantly like, quote unquote, blood traders, as the Death Eaters would say. And then you also like, everyone is going to know you're in the Order of the Phoenix because that's going to come out. So I was like, yeah, sure, that's fine in terms of like if the ministry is still in place and we don't think that they've completely taken over. But I'm just like, I don't know how much I believe that when Voldemort has actually taken over everything, because they're going to come for you first, girls. So yeah, so basically what they're saying though with this whole plan with the ghoul in pajamas is anyone who checks in on Ron will see the ghoul in his bed, assume that Ron really is sick with Spattergroit, and then flee before contracting it.
It's not a good plan, but it's a plan. I'll give it that.
It's something.
Harry wouldn't have come up with anything.
Yeah, and then Arthur knows that's what they're going to do. Ron's like, we haven't really told Mum because obviously she's not taking this whole situation well. So we haven't really talked to her.
She's not in the right state of mind yet to receive this.
Yeah. So there's this moment where Harry internally is like, oh, wow, they really do realize how dangerous this is. But Harry can't find the words to express how grateful he is for them have done all this. And then we get right into it pretty much. They start talking about hunting Horcruxes. Harry says he really wants to go to Godric's Hollow, not just for the Horcruxes, but for himself. And then understandably, again, because we are Hermione tries to point out that Voldemort could have that entire little village being watched at all times, just in case he tries to go back and like visit his parents' graves. And like the site where, they lost their lives. And Voldemort almost died. Right. Ron brings up the locket again and is wondering if RAB managed to destroy it after all. Like, they're like, well, maybe, like, Ron says he's like, well, maybe he did manage to destroy it. And Hermione corrects him and is like, she. And I'm like, do you know what, Joe? You love to do this, but then you don't actually have RAB be a woman, or you don't actually have the prince be a woman. So can you just stop doing this shit? Yeah. Just say like whoever it was. Cause I'm like, you keep doing this, but then you never actually have it be a woman.
You don't go through with it. Right.
No. Cause I'm like, this would have been a great opportunity to do that because Hermione wasn't correct with the situation with the Half-Blood Prince.
Regina Black.
Regina Black. Oh, Regina. Yeah. Yeah. Sirius's long-lost sister.
Long-lost sister. He forgot to mention.
Yeah. So Hermione has been doing some research on how to actually destroy Horcruxes. And they're like, how did you do that? And she's like, well, that day, like after we said goodbye to Dumbledore, after his funeral, or did we say after the burial? That was the name of the chapter. So I'll say the burial. After the burial, I was just in the girls' dormitory all on my own. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try to Accio those books, because he took them out of the library, but maybe he still has them in his office. So she literally but Adam, what did she say?
She said Accio Horcrux.
Yeah. Accio, all the books on Horcruxes. Accio Horcrux books. Like, what did she say? I was like, I believe that she could Accio a book, but does she know what the books are called? Don't you have to know the name of the book? I'm trying to think like level 7, deepest, darkest spells. Like, I'm like, what? Like, it would have to have a name, because she says about one of the books, she's like, this book is horrible. Like, there's all these like horrible things. She like, the way she like holds it is literally like, it's like this like nasty.
The only thing I can think is that like, if this is me creating a whole narrative, right?
Yeah. To like try and make it.
There's a card catalog at the library, and then it says the names of what they are, and it says like removed by headmaster or whatever.
Yeah.
That is the only
so she knows. Thing. Yeah. But see the fact that you just said that right now, she could have just added a little bit like that in. That it was like there was a record of the books that were removed, so I just acquioed those 5 books. Mm-hmm. Like, so yeah, it was a little.
And wasn't it so lucky that Dumbledore's window was open and the girls' dormitory window was open? I guess it was June.
She could have opened hers, but yeah, his was just still left open. So yeah, she says that it's like this horrible, nasty book. She explains that Voldemort is very unlucky. Okay, apparently there is a way that you can reassemble your own soul.
Yes.
But remorse. She's like, it's very unlikely that he would ever try to do that because it involves him feeling remorse. And we know that's not happening.
That's not happening. No.
There's no way. He would have to feel remorse for his actions to be able to do that. And it would be like painful, whatever like process he would have to go through. So she's like, he's not going to do that to himself. But it will be really difficult for the trio to destroy them because there's only very specific like things. Like we know, obviously, the Basilisk Fang, that's what they go into. They go into a conversation about the Basilisk Fang being the one that destroyed the diary, Riddle's diary, because obviously Dumbledore said he believed that was a Horcrux.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting Jesus Christ, I can't talk. Philosophically.
Yeah.
That she even brings up that because Joe Rowling has said outside of the books.
Yeah.
That the method to create a Horcrux is like one of the most evil things she'd ever come up with. Like she's said like it's horrible. Like she'll never reveal it or whatever. Mm-hmm. Obviously it involves murder to some capacity, but past that we don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me that she even writes in that there is it says to me that there is still a part of her that does believe that you can do something so heinously evil but still be redeemed. It just has to be, I mean, it's just interesting that she even gives that as like a thing that could happen.
Yeah.
Because the way she talks about it really makes you seem like, just obviously we don't know anything, so it's like my mind wanders to be like, I mean, think about how gross his like reassembling of his body spell is.
I know.
That's gross.
Yeah, horrible.
And so like, what the fuck is the Horcrux spell? And Hermione read it.
I know. Yeah. Because I thought, obviously we know it's murdering, but that's all we get. It's just murder someone.
Because they murder people all the time, there has to be a whole thing around it, which is why he like takes something from each thing, because it's like so special that he did this like ceremony. Basically, that's the only thing.
Literally, just like a serial killer with his trophies and stuff.
Is it like he like removes their inner? Like it's like your mind starts to be like, what is the level of depravity?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Does he eat the heart? Right?
Yeah, like something like that.
Something truly heinous.
Yeah. So yeah, they're talking about how like obviously the Basilisk Fang destroyed the diary, but they're like, those aren't just lying around. So how are we supposed to be destroying these?
Well, they are. Just go back to Hogwarts and go downstairs.
Yeah. Just
go
pop
back
over
to
there
the
real quick. So there is this moment, which I did not remember at all about this book, where Hermione does like warn or like inform them that the objects, whatever is the Horcrux has been, like the locket, like has been put into, the bit of soul can like, I don't know if like inhabit is the right word, but like take hold of the person that is like close to the object, like not like physically close, even though I think that that is a part of it, but like how Ginny invested and like opened herself up to the object so much. Like she was like vulnerable in that way. And so it like kind of latched onto her and like drained her energy.
It's not just the Lord of the Rings ring where it's just like, oh, it's around you, so you like lose your mind.
Yeah.
You have to like give a part of yourself to it.
Yeah. But that is kind of what ends up happening with the locket.
Correct.
So that's why I was like, okay, so this is like the warning for us that like the locket is going to, when they get the real one, the real locket is going to affect them. Because I don't remember I just did not remember this moment where it's like she says that that's something that can happen. So yeah, if they accidentally like open themselves up to it too much or like let it influence them, it can kind of affect the bearer of the locket, the wearer of the locket, the bearer of the ring.
Yeah. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
By the way,
here we are.
Harry is a Horcrux.
Yeah. As we know.
So if it is an actual ceremony, like I was just saying, it can't be then a ceremony. It has to just be murder. Or was he always planning to make a Horcrux then anyway, but it got interrupted because of...
I feel like there was one time we talked about this and we were like, is it something that he does before the murder? So he does some type of ritual, like nasty, heinous ritual before the murder. Because Harry didn't die, but Lily and James did. So he could have used them.
Whose soul? It's like basically you trade a soul to split your soul in half.
Yes. Yeah.
So I always thought
maybe the soul is.
I always thought it was like. I guess it doesn't. To me, I'm so confused on this part because Harry doesn't die. He's saved by his mother's love. But is it still Harry's soul that's what gets broken? Like it was always intended to be Harry's death is the one that's causing the new Horcrux to be made.
Yeah,
it's not Lily's death, right?
No, it was always going to be him because it was like this big moment of like he defeated the child that was supposed to defeat him, whatever. But then he didn't. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if anyone knows, like when she actually went into the details of like Horcruxes a little bit more, let us know. Cause I really don't know is it just murder and that's it?
Is that the only child he ever tried to kill?
That we know of.
I only ask this because any parent would have sacrificed them, like been like, because the conversation we hear, at least in the movies, is like, give him to me, no, and then he kills Lily or whatever, which is just like any parent would say that. No, there's no parent that's like, okay, go ahead, girl.
Yeah. No, I don't think he tried. I don't think he was out there killing kids.
Maybe he did, but it was like someone who was adopted, so it wasn't a true mother's love, which is what obviously J.K. Rowling's stance would be on the whole situation.
My God. So then...
Biological mothers.
So right at that moment, they hear Molly coming up the stairs, and she like bursts in through the door, and she is not happy to find the three of them together.
Chit-chatting.
Yeah. And she's like, I thought you all wanted to help. This is just ridiculous. There is so much that needs to be done, and you're just sitting up here chatting. So, of course, Hermione jumps up right away and is like, oh, no, absolutely, because it's the woman's job to make sure that everyone is okay. And she rushes out, follows Molly out the door while, like, looking back at Harry and Ron, who haven't said shit. And then they just end up, like, following her downstairs. Not as like urgently as Hermione is. They're not as bothered by it. They're not as affected by it as Hermione is. So the next morning, the Delacours arrive, Fleur's parents, and they all end up greeting them out in the garden. And I was like, what is this, Downton Abbey?
Yeah.
I was like, they're
There's
all
like the row
yes!
of
But yeah, I was like, is this Downton Abbey? Like
yeah.
they just literally like come out to the garden. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Welcome to the borough. Welcome to the borough. The welcoming committee. Arthur is like walking because they had to come in by port key, obviously, because the house is like protected. So Arthur is walking up to the garden gate, and he's got like a high pitched laugh that he's letting out while leading Mrs.
Obviously,
Delacour.
Fleur's mom is Gorge.
Obviously, Fleur's mother is like even more Vila than Fleur. So we can only imagine.
Because her grandma is full Vila?
Her grandma or great grandmother, either one of them was a Vila.
Yeah.
I think great grandmother. I don't know. But what is it? It's the energy. She's got this vibe that just makes men lose their minds. Apparently,
sure. She speaks French. Yeah,
she speaks French. She's French. And yeah, so he has like this very, very loud laugh that he's letting off, high pitched loud laugh. And then, oh wait, no, that was okay.
I need you to get to the thing that we are going to talk about for probably 5 minutes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Do you know what you know what it is?
I don't know. It might be two. There's two things that I think it might be. So Mrs. Delacour, Mr. Delacour is very charming and well spoken, and he's like a very like sincere, lovely, jovial man. Mm-hmm. That's the impression we get. So it's kind of like because she mentions that he is not nearly as attractive as what was her name again? Damn it! I should have written it down.
Apollina or
Apolline.
Apolline.
She specifically mentions he's not as beautiful as
he's
Apolline,
like a man. He's a regular guy.
Yeah. But seems like a lovely person to be around. So she very much chose him for his winning personality. And then
just like Bill.
What'd you say?
Just like Bill.
Yeah, just like Bill. I mean, Bill is also hot though. Mm-hmm. We remember Harry has a panic moment about how hot Bill is.
Yeah, Bill's long hair.
With his long hair, yeah. Harry's like, am I bi? So he introduces himself and his wife. He's obviously like, telling Molly how grateful he is for all the trouble that they've gone to. And Molly's like, oh, it was nothing at all. And Ron like kicks a gnome because he's mad about having to clean his bedroom. And then the Mrs. Delacour, Apolline, is like, oh, your husband was telling the most amusing stories on the way here. And then Arthur once again is like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
She's like, then Molly like shoots him a look. And then he assumes the expression appropriate to the sickbed of a close friend.
Funny. I did think that phrasing of an expression is so funny.
Okay. Yeah, where he's like,
ooh. And I'm the friend on the sick bed. That's me. So what would your face be?
Me next to your sick bed being like, do you want some more of that Chinese medicine, Adam? What is it called? Just a Chinese cold medicine?
I don't remember. It's like written in Chinese. It's like written in Mandarin on the thing.
It's like it's whatever is like the viral one though that people recommend now.
Yeah.
So this must be the moment you're talking about.
Yes,
and then he also introduced Gabrielle, who is 11 now. And then she like tosses her hair and then throws Harry a glowing look, batting her eyelashes at him. And then Ginny clears her throat loudly.
How old is she?
11.
She's 11.
That's literally my note is she's 11, LOL.
What?
Ginny?
Even if you want to have a moment where Ginny has a reaction to like Gabrielle flirting, which is insane to me, by the way, genuinely insane to me.
Yeah.
Even if you could be like, Ginny stifled a laugh under her breath.
Yes,
like something that's more like, oh my God, that's so crazy. Why is Ginny
clearing her throat for any reason, ma'am? Like, I thought that was 11. Ridiculous.
She's 11.
1 year older than 10. Are you kidding me?
She would be going into her first year at Hogwarts.
Yeah. Yeah, Harry, remember that? Yeah, Ginny, remember that?
Like, is it that you're concerned that Harry's going to be swayed by an 11-year-old? Because I promise you, if that's your concern, there's bigger fish to fry, honey.
Yeah.
You need to be like, are you a pedophile?
Yeah.
What?
Hello.
I was so mad when I read that because I was like, you didn't have to do this.
I had no idea why she felt like that was so necessary.
And also, like, Gabrielle is so sweet in book 4 when that whole situation happens. Obviously, she was 8 at the time.
Yes.
As we now have realized. Again. But, like, it would have been nice for her to, come and, like, hug Harry and be like, oh, it's so good to see you or something. Like, I was wanting that moment.
Yes.
And then, like, Fleur, like, takes her away and is like, don't bother her or something, like, just something that wasn't this.
That was not this moment.
Off. What do you mean cough cleared her throat? She's 11. She's 11.
Insane. I couldn't believe that. I literally wrote she's 11.
My 11-year-old daughter. Hold on. Let me look at. I can't remember if he says she's 11 or it's just the book says she's 11. So let me double check.
Who's 11
Because if he said she's 11, if Mr. Delacour said that, it's 10 times worse.
No, I think it was Joe, but I don't know if that makes it any better because it's Joe saying who is 11 now, I believe.
Oh, there was something else actually. Hold on. Okay, and of course you have met my little daughter Gabrielle, said Monsieur Delacour. Gabrielle was Fleur in miniature, 11 years old. So it's just the description of her. But even still,
yeah,
there is one thing that you skipped I forgot to mention.
What?
When Mrs. Weasley ushers them out of their conversation and Hermione follows and the boys follow after.
Yeah.
Ron's line.
Oh, what was it? I don't remember.
With an anguished look at Harry and Ron, Hermione hurried out of the room after Mrs. Weasley.
Yeah.
It's like being a house elf, complained Ron in an undertone, still massaging his head as he and Harry followed, except without the job satisfaction.
Ron. Is there job satisfaction in slavery? What are we doing? Oh my god.
She had to get the greatest hits in before the book series was over.
I guess. Insane. I do
this
remember
Gabrielle thing pissed me off so much though. I had to
Gabrielle
sit for 2 minutes. I was like,
I know. When it happened, I'm pretty sure my face was like,
she's 11.
Girl.
If you're going to do this bit, make her 16.
Yeah, right.
And then do it. Fine, whatever, fine. At least,
have her be
at
like
least then they're the same age. Oh my god.
Crazy.
I also just
this
feel
is even younger. Adam, the thing with like Hermione and Crumb as well, like that there was that age difference. This is like 5 years.
This is
oh my gosh.
About to be 6.
Girl,
he's about to turn 17.
Yeah, about to be 6. Yeah, exactly.
This pissed me off so bad.
That moment was so insane and so ridiculous. So unnecessary.
I can't even explain how unnecessary that moment is.
Y'all know, the people that are listening to our podcast are going to be feeling the same way, that y'all are just going to be like,
Ginny cleared her throat because an 11-year-old flirted with her boyfriend. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
totally
there's
right
a bunch of people that have a bunch of issues currently at the moment. So
you're so right, though, that it should have been like she stifled a laugh, because then it would have been like, oh, haha, yeah, cute.
Yeah.
This is gross. What is going on here?
I just don't even like. It's also, it was like, it would have been an opportunity to like write Gabrielle as different from Fleur. Like, she's already made Fleur this like vixen or whatever.
Yeah.
And so you could have been like, Gabrielle was just like really sweet and like whatever. Like, it didn't need to be like she batted her eyelashes at him. Like, what?
We're trying to think this 11-year-old is like, yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, what is going on? Oh my god. It's just the whole, do you know what it is too? That it's like this girl is 11 and she's already like trying to like, I'm not saying this is what we should think that she's doing, but it's literally trying to be presented to us that she's already trying to like you
She
said,
has like
flirt or
adult
like
intentions.
be like seductive or whatever. And I'm like, she's 11.
She's 11. She's 11. She's
Come
11.
on.
And I get it. I get the whole lore of them being part Vila. I get it. But like,
I don't
you just
care.
didn't have
It doesn't
to write
matter.
it this way. You didn't have to write
11.
it this way.
Yeah.
She's 11.
Does not matter.
Oh my God.
Insane. So the Delacours are very kind, very good house guests. The house is very overcrowded now, though. This house just was not made to have this many people in it. Harry, Ron, and Hermione try to like meet in the yard, or is the English say the back garden. But she interrupts them.
Couldn't they put the tent spell on the house? Just make it bigger?
Like in a room. Just like extend the room. Yeah. What's stopping them from doing that? They can do it in a car. They can do it in a tent. Come on, Weasleys.
Come on.
This is where I'm like, you can't introduce shit like this and then have it that like the Weasleys have like this rink-a-dink teeny little house.
Yeah. Rink-a-dink. That's so funny.
Maybe that's not the right usage of
rink-a-dink. No, I liked that.
So yeah, they try to meet in the yard and she like interrupts them again. She makes a comment like not thinking. Molly makes a comment that like having all these extra security enchantments around the house is making things more difficult. And Harry like awkwardly is like, "Oh, sorry." And she's like, "Oh, no, sorry. I shouldn't have said that. That's not what I meant. Of course, it's way more important to have you safe. Like, of course. No, we don't want you to be unsafe now."
Two things can be true at the same time, Harry.
Yeah, it's fine. You knew what she meant by that.
Yeah,
like she is having to do a lot. Yeah, which she does say at kind of like the end of the chapter, but he doesn't say out loud, which is just the problem with Harry. That he just like,
oh, it's all interior.
It's all internal. Then she asks him what he'd like to do for his birthday, and he's like, "Oh no, I don't want anyone to make a fuss. Like just like whatever's like the easiest thing." Because she's like, "It is the day before the wedding," or he says like, "It's the day before the wedding, so I don't want." anyone doing anything crazy up in here. And then Molly says that she'll just invite Lupin and Tonks then. And then kind of gives him a searching look before walking back into the house. And there's a moment where Harry feels very guilty about the strain that his presence and the added security is putting on her specifically, on Mrs. Weasley as they're planning this wedding. And that's it. That is the end of the chapter. The Ghoul in Pajamas.
Great job, Ari.
Thank you.
We have a couple comments, Ari.
Okay, do tell.
On episode 7.4, The Seven Potters, on Spotify, Francis Gerber says, "Great episode as always. Kingsley actually had a bunch of lines after this in Deathly Hallows Part 1, and then he lists all the lines. The last words Albus Dumbledore spoke to the pair of us. What gave you away? The ministry has fallen. The minister of magic is dead. They are coming."
Yes, he does say that, but that isn't him. It's his Patronus that is saying that. Like, I know he recorded it, but he's not on screen saying that line. It's his Patronus.
In Part 2, he says, "Tell Professor McGonagall Remus and I will handle this side of the castle." Hey, Dean, on second thought, tell Professor McGonagall we might need one or two more wands this side. Who said that? Last line to Remus. 5 stars. So thank you, Francis, for keeping us honest.
5 stars.
And then on YouTube, we have a comment from How Horizon 8429. Went here for childhood nostalgia and JK bashing. Stayed for the Hunger Games cultural osmosis.
I need to watch that. Yeah, I need to go back and rewatch that because that was the funniest moment ever. When you were doing that, and then I did a series of unfortunate events, and we were like, "This is what I remember."
Yeah. Yep.
These are all the things I think I remember.
I was like gonna use it for our clip, but then I was like, it's not about Harry Potter, so it doesn't make sense.
That's true. Yeah.
It's just an Easter egg for when they listen to the episode.
It's an Easter egg.
Well, thanks for writing in, guys. We love hearing what you guys think. You can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you find your podcasts, as well as video versions on the Ampliverse YouTube channel and Spotify. As always, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so that we can get a perfect Newt score. 5 stars only, or else you'll have to deal with Spattergroit. Spattergroit?
Spattergroit. Yeah. Yikes.
It's too close to groin, I think. That's my issue.
I know. Yeah.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at HBAnxious or YouTube and TikTok at The Ampliverse. We are hosted on Spotify for podcasters, so thank you to them and are a proud member of The Ampliverse. Check them out at theampliverse.com. Thank you, Ari.
Thank you, Adam.
And as always, Turgio.
Turgio.
Turgio.